The history of association between the evolution of this planet and the beings from other planets is long. This is a planet that has potential for life, and life has developed here. It is a planet that is towards the outer rims of the galaxy, a young planet. This is a young species. And the guidance of those more developed species has been there since the beginning of the human race. There was a time when there were colonies on this planet, and genetic assistance, genetic engineering. The development of the human species was not entirely natural to this particular planet, but has incorporated the development from species indigenous to other worlds. This development has been guided and monitored. Now, some time ago, it was said that Taraka Brahma, that archetypal transitory point between the manifest and the unmanifest universe, that aspect of the infinite Brahma took incarnation in this plane. Many thousands of years ago. Due to the turbulence of the development of the species. At that time, there were different variations of humanoid. And there was struggle for existence. The people lived in clans or tribes, often small family units with 20, 30 people, but some were much larger. And while there was primitive development in some areas, there were still these colonial outposts at that time, though that was the end of that period of those outposts, when there was a thriving, intelligent species taking dominance on the planet. It was considered against the principles of society to maintain outposts. And so those outposts faded. But for a period, there was a combination of highly intelligent, technologically developed civilization in outposts and certain places on the planet, and developing primitive species that lived in these family tribes and clans. and they lived together. Those outposts made every effort not to interfere with these developing species, though they did genetic assistance. And they lived themselves generations on this planet. They were humanoid species, very similar to the humans of today. But with larger frontal lobes. Their similarity can be seen due to genetic modification. These people who colonized the earth lived for many centuries, thousands of years upon this planet. They developed outposts of technologically sophisticated societies. Atlantis was one of the last of these outposts, these developed humanoid, technologically developed humanoid societies. Then there was a period around 30, 40,000 years ago where there was a general upheaval due to the mandate that was imposed that all advanced civilizations should leave this planet and let it develop, as there was developing species that were humanoid. And so there was upheaval. Societies where people had lived for generations upon generations were being asked to leave. There was a great conflict that ensued. The destruction of all traces of these civilizations was mandated so that the indigenous species that could grow, develop, and mature unaided with gentle supervision. And so, by an interstellar mandate, these prior advanced civilizations were dismantled. There were the remnants of different species, different types of humanoid on the planet. But there was the emergence and the clear path of the Homo sapien, which was genetically similar to those who had come to this planet and colonized. When this upheaval happened, there was a time of chaos. The harmony and balance was lost. There were technologies on the planet far in advance. There was resistance to leaving by many who this was, had become their ancestral home. There were developing species. And there were those who stayed, would not leave. But their technologies were taken away, but the knowledge in their minds was not. And so certain advanced civilizations were again developed. In this turmoil, society was split, broken. The guidance and overseeing of the planet that had been there was gone. All traces of the technology removed. In the developing people, those great figures became the gods and goddesses, advanced beings of great supernatural powers. And a few remained. In this milieu, Taraka Brahma came to bring cohesion to the society, to bring shelter to those who remained and those who were growing in their development, and to bring harmony to these societies. So that humanity might grow in its own path, in its own time. And today, that human society has grown, developed its own technology, and covered the earth. But now endangers the very planet on which it lives. this is due to a stage of evolutionary development and the nature of the species that has developed in this place, in this time. More and more is being said this recently regarding the those beings who travel through space and the sighting of ships, contact with people from other planets, other dimensions. And you may wonder why at this time is it so prevalent. But the critical time in the development of the species is now. The threat of extinction is there. It is a time of evolutionary shift and change. And so it is natural that those beings who oversee, who have watched and guided, would take interest at this time. And that also those who would exploit and destroy take interest at this time. There is much assistance coming in many ways to the evolution of human beings on this planet. There are not only developing beings on other planets, there are cosmic beings who do not need corporal bodies in the physical plane. They have evolved beyond that. Their knowledge is vast. They take interest. There are beings from other dimensional portals. They travel through dimensions as well as through space and time. They take interest. The milieu of manifestation is vast, beyond the understanding of the human mind. Beings of light, angels, Kaimurti, whatever names you call them, beings who have evolved beyond corporal existence with vast knowledge, who are mental. They can change the very composition of the universe with their minds. But they follow the natural order of Prakriti. They follow the evolution of nature. Nature not only on this planet, but in the cosmos. For they are evolved enough to know what not to do, as well as what to do. They follow the natural order. Beneath all of this evolution lies the aware consciousness of Parama Purusha, omniscient, and the creative hand of Prakriti is manifesting so many variations of development, a spectrum beyond the human mind to understand. A spectrum that, as mind grows in magnitude, becomes clearer and clearer, like a lens moving into focus. The evolution of this young species of the planet Earth is of great interest to many, and for different reasons. There is, in the play of creation, ever the hand of light and dark, shadow and sunshine. Forward evolution towards the infinite, and backward movement away from that harmony and unity. There is, in the play of the universe, male and female. There is yin and yang. There is opposite duality. And out of this struggle of opposites comes life and creativity, manifest through the 5 elements and the gunas, the 3 gunas. Sattva, sentience; rajas, movement, creativity; and tamas, cohesion, steadfastness. They move together to evolve and create. And in this creation, there is all manner of being. There is beneath this substratum a cohesion that the human word love is most fitting to. And in that love, there is great peace. In that cohesion, which is the very nature of all beings. Be they technologically advanced and spacefaring, or less developed in their creativity. Be they able to transverse dimensions, hold vast number of beings within their consciousness, or simply be small. A tree, a shrub, a blade of grass. Unknown forms, countless in this manifest universe. Yet all abide within the infinite, within the mind of the great. A play of creativity within the mental sphere of the Supreme. Humanity is not alone. And perhaps the day will come in the future when that will be a known fact. And human society on this planet will join the ranks of the human species across the universe. All right. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Can extraterrestrial take a human body as if to come here on a mission for a purpose and do it and then leave?
There are many forms of humanoid. There are those who you could not tell the difference. To take a human body, that means that that soul will incarnate in a human body. They will not take over a walk-in, so to speak. That would be unusual. But they may take, there are those on this planet who have lived on other planets and have taken form here, taken birth here, for their sanskara is such that this is the suitable place. But they will take birth elsewhere as well. This may or may not be their home planet of evolution. In that sense, yes. Those who have evolved elsewhere take form here, and those who have evolved here will take form elsewhere. And there are those who easily walk among humans, for they are of the same genetic composition. They are of the same species of humanoid, though they reside elsewhere. But to take over a human body is a bit rare. When the great masters come to the earth, they are beings conscious without physical form. But they will take a suitable human body. And as that mind and body grow, that awakened consciousness will be there. So the Divine Mother, Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, take embodiment in human forms. this does occur. But they do not override. They are forms where the consciousness is prepared to dissolve into that consciousness, which is Shiva, which is Krishna, which is the Divine Mother, the Holy One. So those great ones do come to this earth, but they do not take over, nor are they alien that they came from a different planet, for they are from a different evolutionary stratum. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I can see and understand what you're saying. Could you tell me a little more about those extraterrestrials who have some samskara that would bring them here to this planet and be born in a body to perhaps work on that?
Yes. There are those also of this planet who will find themselves drawn to another. For there is in the mind something is there, some longing that cannot be fulfilled at this time in this place. And so also the soul evolves out of and in association with a planet, with a life force. All here, the bodies are of Gaia, they are of the earth. But the minds, the hearts, the passions may or may not be of the earth. They aspire to the sublime, to unity, to consciousness, to awakenness, to wholeness. The earth itself aspires to this and has manifest beings to become more and more conscious. This is true throughout the known universe and perhaps the unknown. There is this natural urge to evolution and creativity. And certain desires in the mind may be well met elsewhere. Certain needs to serve, to help, may draw one to a different locale. You are a part of an evolutionary pod of conscious beings. There can be attraction to circumstances and beings that may be elsewhere. There are many different personal reasons, cosmic reasons, that this interplay of souls happens, that incarnation may not only be of the same species, In one life you are a dog, in another you are a human, in another you are in a different place, a different time, a different circumstance. A loved one may be there that you follow, for there is a longing in your heart to be near them. A mission may be there that you have, a commitment to a higher being who is not bound by planet relationships, for they have evolved beyond such things. There are many reasons, all right?